I'd much rather just breeze through today, but now we got a great story to tell for a long time, and now that it's over, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Now listen, you guys, everybody was talking about this being us having a terrible first round. It wasn't really that big a deal, and now everyone's going to talk about us being the number 8 seed and being the underdogs. Look, we're not underdogs. We've played North Carolina many times. We've beaten them many times. They've beaten us. We're two great teams. They beat us the last 4 days, but tomorrow we start at 0. So don't make too much of this 1-8 thing. I promise they were not hoping for Arizona State to win that match today.
Where were you? What hole were you on, or who were you following when Preston made his putt?
You know what? Where was I? I was behind 15 green. So what happened, I was supposed to be with Josele, and I left him because he was kind of in a good shape, and I'm like, oh, what's Michael doing? And then I saw, when I got to see when I went to see Luke, I found the big screen. And I couldn't leave the big screen back at 15. I was like, I can see the whole thing right here. And Josele looks like he's okay, and everyone else seems like they're kind of, and if I ran, I still wouldn't catch him by now. So I just sat and watched it all on the big screen like everybody else.
So when Preston made the putt, did you know that was it, or are you? Because we're trying to calculate.
No, we got spies in every corner of this place, so we knew every shot that was going for everybody, and they were all coming in on my phone. I just sat and watched. I'm like a high school kid. I just sit and watch my phone and watch TV and tell us, who won at the end.
Now, when you had to make up your lineup, did you make it in, for who was going to go on 14, 15, 16, and this guy hits longer, so you want Preston on the par 5, or?
Yeah, we actually, last night at dinner, I've never been in this playoff, but last night at dinner we were sitting down and we said, hey guys, just so you know, here's the format if there's a playoff. And we started talking about it, which turns out to be a great move now. Because it's a really funny type of playoff, right? To have one person on each hole all playing at the same time. So I explained to him how that all works, and we said, okay, we're going to send each one of you to a hole. And we actually talked it over with the guys. Which hole do you want? Which hole should this guy be on? And we decided, Preston says, well, I think I should probably be on 18. And we're all like, yeah. And then I think Luke says, I like 14. And then we said, well, 16, you have to hit the highest, softest shot in the world. So nobody in the world better than Jose to do that. So we picked him. And then Michael was going to be on 17 and Riggs was going to be on 15. That was the plan. And then when we got done, they came up to me and says, hey, Michael and I think we should switch. Michael doesn't like 17. And so I'm going to 17, he's going to 15. I said, okay, sounds good. So that's how that happened.
You were so prophetic.
Well, it's you're always trying to, look, I do a lot of stupid things, so don't make it sound like I'm really smart here, but sometimes you get lucky. And as a coach, you're always trying to, take out any surprise you can. So when you looked at the scores last night, it looked like, hey, there's a chance that somebody's going to be in a playoff, and who knows, maybe if we don't quite do good enough, Coach, we're not going to be in the playoff, we're going to take this thing down. Well, just in case, here's the format. And so it worked out good.
What's those range of emotions like when you go through the playoff format the first time, and then to reset and go back out there for the second round of it?
So there was no going back out. Like, that's what surprised me so much is I thought we had won, and then Thor chips in, and I'm like, what? And then they're already, and then I just said, oh, I got to run out. And I run out to be back with Josele, which was my job, and he's already teeing off, and I'm way away from him. Like, oh, okay, I guess I can't do anything here. And so that was the surprise, is just how fast it went. There was no time for any range of emotions. I remember thinking at that moment, like, oh crap, like that's a pretty big emotional letdown. We thought we won, and are we going to be able to respond? And then Ethan, the Stanford guy, made that 30-footer, and I thought we were cooked. But then we started making 6-footer, 4-footer, 5-footer, and then Preston made the big putt on 14.
Having gone through it, are you a fan of the playoff?
Oh yeah, man, that was awesome. I wish the whole thing was more like that. In fact, we were laughing out there. I'm like, this is live golf. Like, it's all going on at the same time. They got something right here. Like, this is amazing. This guy's making birdie, this guy's making par, and the score can change so quick. And I thought it was pretty fun.
Did you think maybe at the end of regulation you might eke it out? I know you finished first ahead of Stanford, and they were on 18, which isn't necessarily an easy hole. So as your guys finished up on 17 and 18, are you thinking then, hey, we really might go into a playoff? Because it looked even more so.
Yeah, when we finished, I really wanted to finish one better, because then we knew we'd at least be in a playoff with Virginia. And then when we finished one behind them, and Stanford was tied with us at the time, and they had 3 guys to play on 18, I think, maybe 4. I'm thinking we looked pretty good because 18 is the hardest hole in the course. They kind of, I mean, no disrespect, everyone got their luck at different times, but the wind shifted for them. We played 18 into the wind, and they played it down. Playing 18 downwind is just a totally different deal, and so they were able to play it well, and props to them for doing so. Because you wouldn't want to have to make 5 pars on 18 to stay alive, or 3 in a row, and they did a great job there. So it's just how it worked out.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, last question. You guys were in match play last year. You lost the national championship. Now you guys are back.
We did.
How's it?
Okay.
How's it feel to be back, and what's your message going to be to the players who weren't here last year that are going to be playing in this match play?
Man, I remember back at the Pac-12s, we were so devastated with kind of not winning the Pac-12s and losing to Stanford. And I remember it just hitting me like, yeah, this sucks, but it doesn't change anything. We're going to find a way to get into match play. And once we find a way to get into match play, we're right back where we were last year. And this is the thing. This is the thing. No matter what we do all year, this was what needed to happen. And whether we finished 1st or 8th really doesn't matter. We just needed to get into match play. So we've been saying all year we think we're a good match play team. Now, we'll see, Maybe we don't show up tomorrow. Maybe we get killed. But I like our chances. We're a good match play team, and I think the guys are going to feel loose and free and ready to roll.